If you want to achieve low risk and high reward with your Etsy ads, this video is going to tell you exactly how. What's up, everybody? Welcome back to the channel. In this video, I want to talk about the low budget Etsy ads strategy. A lot of people choose this by default because they don't have the money. However, if you go about it the right way and you know what you're looking for and you know what you're growing towards, it actually can turn into an extremely profitable and down the line, a high budget money-making machine. Before we get into it, definitely grab the free Etsy ads cheat sheet in the description below. It helps you get started with everything and teaches you a few things, even if you're a veteran Etsy seller. Also, if you would like help growing your store hands-on, I've helped hundreds, if not thousands, of Etsy sellers reach 6 and 7 figures and beyond. If you want to be that next person, definitely grab a free 10-minute call in the description below. I'll tell you how we can work together, how we can grow your store, what I see in your store, and we'll go from there. All right, let's jump into it. So your low budget Etsy ad strategy has low risk, but slower growth. You have to keep that in mind. It is going to be slower growth. A lot of people tell me, Dave, I need to make this work by this amount of time, or Dave, I need this store to be my retirement, all this kind of stuff. If you're choosing a low budget with your Etsy ads, just know that it is going to be slower growth. Now, don't get me wrong. I've seen stores with $5 a day budgets do some crazy numbers and spread like wildfire. That's because organically those listings were doing well. That's because the products were really good and there was a lot of creative aspects to it. The ads just helped. But in some situations, the ads need to do a lot of the work. But just expect slower growth, and big things can happen for sure, but 9 times out of 10 it is a little bit slower growth. However, we'll get into the pros and the cons of this slower growth in a second. So the pros of it is low risk, higher long-term profitability. Long-term, you're going to be more profitable because you're risking lower up front and finding profitable listings to build upon. The cons of it is slower growth. It is going to be slower. Okay. So number 2, when it does work, it is much more profitable. I've seen way higher ROAS when you start it at a slow amount like this. And it's less sporadic. Your campaign is much less sporadic, meaning there's more predictability in your Etsy ads campaign. And it can just be generally much more fulfilling and less stressful. So that's why people would choose a low budget Etsy ad strategy. People choose it just because they don't want to spend money. But if you do it right and you know what you're looking for, you can know what you're growing towards. All right, so now let's get into it. Let's get into the how-to behind the low budget, because it's not just set a low budget and forget it. That's not it at all. So number 1 on this, or 3A, whatever you want to call it, choose $1 to $5 or $1 to $6, $1 to $7. That's your low budget. $1 to $10, sure, we'll go $1 to $10, and set it at that and leave it at that for at least a month. You need a month for this low dollar amount to find you some customers with the listings that you have. Yes, you want to use all your listings, if they haven't been advertised, if they have been advertised, whatever it may be. Unless you have a bunch of listings that have been unprofitable and you turn them off in the past, then you leave those ones alone, obviously. But anything that has not been advertised yet, and anything that is being advertised right now but has not proven to be unprofitable or profitable, the algorithm will gravitate your ad spend. Okay, it's just like other ad platforms, for example, Meta campaign budget optimization. Etsy ads has its own campaign budget optimization. That means the algorithm gives ad spend to the listings that get the most attention. Okay, the more human attention a listing gets, the more ad spend that it gets. If it's profitable, that's up to you afterwards. That's up to other factors afterwards. But the algorithm does gravitate ad spend towards attention. Okay. So next part of this is to wait. I already mentioned that. But while you're waiting, I want you to add more listings. Add duplicates with different titles and tags, but also new and creative products. Add new products. You have to be creative. I've been touching on this a lot lately on my channel. You have to be creative. Creativity has been dying on Etsy, and without it, your store won't do well. If you don't have a touch of creativity invested into your store, then you're relying on copying people, you're relying on other tactics. If you're print on demand, you're relying on buying packs of commercial right product designs that you just slap onto garments. And honestly, as a creative, I find that sad. It is sad to see creativity dying on Etsy. So you have to be creative. Add new listings while you're waiting during this period, okay? Now, we covered everything on the how-to. What do we want to look for in our low budget Etsy ad strategy? What do we look for? We look for high ROAS, of course. There will be some listings that achieve a high ROAS. And I have found with these low budget strategies, they can achieve some very high ROAS, higher than normal. So that's a very big plus. The next thing I want you to watch out for, and this is the main mechanism behind the growth strategy of low budget Etsy ads. Okay, because our goal is not to stay low budget the whole time. Our goal is to start with a low budget, but then grow into a money-making, money-printing, awesome Etsy store, okay? Once your daily budget is spending anywhere from 70 to 100% of that daily budget every single day, go to your last 30 days, click on spend at the top, and then look at that graph. Hover your mouse over the graph, and it'll show you what it's spending each day. That's one way to look at it. The other way to find out what you're spending each day, on average at least, is to go to 30 days, look at spend, divide that number by 30. That'll tell you your average spend. So if you are spending on average 70 to 100% of your Etsy ads budget, that is a great that's a great moment to increase your ad budget. Now, you want to increase it incrementally. This is part of the low budget Etsy ad strategy. Just because you start low doesn't mean just because you start low, then you see that signal of 70 to 100% daily ad spend doesn't mean you boost it and now all of a sudden you're high budget Etsy ad strategy. You want to increase your budget incrementally, like $5 to $10. Then you wait another whole month again, or even 2 months if it needs 2 months to equalize itself. Remember, this is a slow burner. This is a slow cook. And with that slow cook, we're going to get a good taste. And that good taste is going to be a high ROAS, okay? That's the analogy for this video. So we incrementally increase the budget $5 to $10 once we see a 70 to 100% daily ad spend of your max budget, okay? The higher, the safer. The higher percentage that it's spending of your daily max budget, the safer. So if it's at 90 to 100% of your max budget, that's how much it's spending. That's way safer than, let's say, oh, it's spending 60%. Let's go ahead and increase it. Because the risk at that moment, let's say you're only spending 50 to 60% of your daily budget each day, and you decide to increase it anyway. That's when your campaign might fall flat on its face and stop spending so much each day, which is not what you want. You actually want it to spend as much as you give it each day, because with that, you can work with that. You can work with a high spend each day, meaning you can turn off what's not profitable and keep what is. That is how you obtain profitable listings. So the higher percentage of daily ad spend, the safer when you are going to increase it, okay? I know I'm throwing a lot at you. Definitely ask questions in the comments below or send me an email. My email is usually in the description. But this last part that I talked about, that's the whole mechanism of the low budget strategy. Watching your daily ad spend and being really safe with it, as well as incrementally increasing it by $5 to $10. So be very careful with this. Email me, book a free call in the description below, grab the free Etsy ads cheat sheet. You can reply to any one of my newsletter emails. It'll go straight to my inbox. I'll reply to you personally. I would love to help you one-on-one in your store, implement this stuff, grow your store. You've seen testimonies from my previous videos. You can be the next person. I would love to work with you. In the meantime, the next video that's going up is the high budget Etsy ad strategy. So definitely watch this video, the high budget Etsy ad strategy, and then the high versus low video all together before you decide on anything. I'll see you in the next video.